Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 437. It is Sunday, September 28th, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. Tonight, I have a great card that is for the fall. A lot of people might have fall birthdays. It could be a masculine card. You can also take the same layout and recreate it in whatever season you need it to be or for whatever occasion. So I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. So hold on. All right, so hopefully you had a great weekend. And I was on vacation last week, and I redesigned my stamp room, basically fitting the two paper shelves right next to each other. I organized my stamp area. There's my cutting station. But anyways, for the event that's coming up, oops, that's not loose enough. There we go. For the event that is coming up, the in-person event, November 1st, which is a Saturday, it happens to be the day right after Halloween. So it's going to sneak up on you really quick. But anyways, I got all prepped for that. So my 3 cards, I got 57 card kits all prepped and are ready to go. All right, I think we're good. I'm done messing around with the camera. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Carolyn. Hi, sweetie. It's nice to see you. So my YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. penguinz33@outlook.com is my email address, so that if you have any questions on anything that you see today, just let me know. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I would be happy to send you a catalog if you do not work with one. All right, so let's talk about some things that are going on. Number 1, this is the catalog that we are currently working with. And this is the holiday mini catalog that we also have currently going on through the end of December. And then we have the online store exclusive products. And this is what we're going to be working with tonight. We're going to be using the artistic leaves, and that's in the online store. I'm getting now all messed up. The artistic leaves is, yes, in the online store. I don't know why I'm getting all mixed up. Just because I've been dealing with so many stamp sets lately. Okay, so it's in the online store. And then I'm also working with the designer series paper is from this. Let's see, no, it's not. The designer series paper that I'm going to be working with is the fall for Toile, autumn Toile designer series paper. And let's see, so then that is on page 41 in the holiday mini catalog. And then we're working with the artistic leaves, which is in the online store. And then we're also using not 29 anymore, and that's again in the online store. And then we're using the textured note dies, which is from the Botanical Textures Sweet Collection, and that's in the online store. And we're using the Hi Tina Welcome, and so we're going to be doing that. So as I mentioned, online exclusives. Those are products that are exclusively online. You will not see them in any publication. And we have a few happenings that are going on. And let's see, let me move that. But let me show you the Autumn Toile Designer Series paper. This is what we're going to be playing with, and we're also going to be using the earthen toned metallic. Now, I've heard people say that this is kind of coppery. It's more chocolate. It has more of a brown tone than it does a copper tone. So it's kind of like copper, but it's more brown, okay? And so we're going to be playing with this tonight as well. And let's see here. I'm just trying to move things around so I can have space. So let's talk about some things that are going on. Number one, this is the Advent calendar that Stampin' Up! Just released this past Tuesday. Now, it is while supplies last, and what it is it comes with a stamp set. Now, the stamp set's kind of like a 2-pager, and then it comes with, now these are non-Christmas products, but they coordinate with each other, and these products will not be in any publication or any online store. So it's all exclusive just to this Advent calendar. Now, the Advent calendar is 12 days of crafting, so there's 12 doors. So what you're supposed to do is wait for the Advent season and then open up each door one at a time, on one day for each. Now, if you order it and it comes and you can't wait, there's nobody telling you that you can't do that. But I don't have it, and but I do know that there are that stamp set, there are dies, designer series paper, and other things. So I am not about to tell you any spoilers, but it is worth the $99 for this kit. Now, if you have any rewards in your rewards bank, you can use them on this kit. Plus, you will earn $9.90 for rewards from purchasing this kit to use toward your next order. Then, Stampin' Up! Is having a crafting class. Now, I've said basically all the stuff in an email that I just sent out today for my stamp camp. So it has all this information plus my stamp camp invite. So Stampin' Up! Is having a Traditions of Christmas sent out. Crafting. So it's kind of like you sign up, you register for the class, which is 170073, and it's $30. And once you get that, they'll send you a link so that when October 23rd happens, you'll be able to go to an exclusive crafting class. So if you did not register, you will not get that link. You will not be able to get onto that class. However, you can also watch it later and as many times as you want. So if you can't make it, so it says 2 o'clock Mountain Time. It's going to be 3 o'clock Central Time on Minnesota time. So if you want to get it, now the Sweet Collection, I love the Sweet Collection. It is 165877. It is, let's see, I wrote it down as $138.75. So it is a well put together product suite, and plus you get 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets. So I mean, I love it. It's like one of my favorites out of the whole catalog. So log online and purchase that suite if you don't have, or purchase the class. And if you don't have the suite, don't worry about it. You can use whatever you have and play with it. But you're going to be having so much fun with this. Plus, think of all Christmas cards you'll get done. All right, so Paper Pumpkin, you have to, if you want to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin in time to get this kit, you have to be subscribed by September 10th, because then they, or you have to subscribe by, October 11th to get this kit in November. So this looks like a wonderful, fun kit to play with. So looks like it fits small treats and perfect for gift cards. Now this here, if you are already a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can go in and purchase the coordinating add-ons. Now these add-ons will be good for October, November, and December's Paper Pumpkin kits. All right, World Card Making Day, September 4th. You need to register to receive that link. How you doing, Tina? Happy Sunday. I'm going to take a drink here. I just love my blackberry lemonade. But anyways, if you cannot make it October 4th, still register because it's free. Stampin' Up! Is also going to give everybody who registers a free gift. The last time they had this, it was a $5 off coupon voucher off their next order. I can't say that that's going to be the same thing. I do not know what it is, but it's a free gift and it's a free registration. Now, it's also going to be 2 to 3 Mountain Time. So it's going to be 3 o'clock Central Time. So once you have that link, you'll be able to go back and watch that video over and over and over again. But in that event, they are going to feature working with the Handmade and Heartfelt kit. Now, this is $32. You do not need to have this kit. You can craft along using something else. But if you want to, this is a really cool, and it's very sturdy from all the people that I have seen demonstrate, and it's very easy. Barb, welcome. So it's very easy to put together. I mean, I saw somebody put it together without even following the instructions, and it's very durable. So it's going to be something that can help you. You can put your cards in, you can put your envelopes in, you can put your postage stamps in, your labels, your address labels, things like that. And then have that little station so that if you have somebody's birthday, boop, you pull out the cards, ready to go. You don't need this kit, but if you want to get this kit, it is 166213, and it is in my online store. All right. Now, if you have been a demonstrator in the past and you have dropped, this is the perfect time for you to get that demonstrator discount again. All right. So you have 2 different options. Number 1, if you were to sign up today, you would pick out $125 and you would pay $99 for that product. But October 1st, there's 2 different ways to do this. So what you could do is, number 1, you can pick out $125 and you can pay just $35. I mean, if you were to pick out $125 worth of product on a normal order, you would pay shipping. This does not, you don't pay shipping on this. Plus, you get a discount for 20% off on your future orders. Now, if you wish to keep that discount coming, you would have to have $300 in sales for a quarter. That's 3 months. So you can get a bunch of girlfriends together, place orders, and you would receive 20% off on all your future orders until you let that run out. There's no obligation. Now, the other way to do it is you get $189 worth of product, and you only pay $99. Now, if you guys have a big wish list, get that wish list, pay $99, free shipping, you get $189 worth of product, then your next order, you get 20% off of that. So it's a win-win situation. All right, so then check out the Last Chance products list. There are several things on there that are up to 70% off. So it's a great way to buy things that are not going to be replenished, and it's while supplies last. So if there's something on there, don't wait for it to run out, and then all of a sudden you put that number in and it says not available because it doesn't recognize it because it's gone. All right, then we have the Love and Courage stamp set. Now this is in the Holiday Mini Catalog, and I love the fact that Stampin' Up! Puts together something that benefits an organization. And this time it's going to be breast cancer organizations. Every sale of this stamp set, Stampin' Up's going to donate $3. And that's a great way to, you know what? If you know somebody who's going through cancer, somebody who has gone through it, it does not specifically say breast cancer. If somebody has thyroid cancer, if somebody has cervical cancer, if somebody has bone cancer, this all works. So donate $3 by purchasing this stamp set and make beautiful cards while doing it. Okay, Halloween is getting pretty close, so to the point where if you guys don't start, if you haven't placed your Halloween order yet, it's probably going to be, you know, wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of thing. So check that out in the online store. Get those. This kit makes really nice boxes so that you could put a bunch of treats in there, especially for like your coworkers and stuff. Now this kit here, the Road to Christmas, is not available right now, but if you are interested in getting this kit, sign up for that email so as soon as it comes back, and you can go to the online store and purchase that right away before it runs out again. All right, guys, you know that I have been working on my previous Facebook Lives. This happens to be Facebook Live number 24. So what I did was I made this card and I demonstrated it. Now this had flocked vellum, and I remember this vellum, and you just want to sit there and pet it. I know it's weird, but you know, I'm a touchy-feely kind of girl. But anyways, I recreated this card using new products. And this was Facebook Live number 436. I have been putting the date on there because I was, you know, kind of young and stupid and did not know to do that. But anyways, I never thought I'd be making 437 Facebook Lives. I mean, I was so nervous doing that. So what I did is I took the beautiful butterflies and the beautiful bokeh designer series paper, and I created this card. Now that was a winter card, and it said warm wishes from our home to yours, and then on the inside it said, may magic and wonder bloom this holiday. Well, this is a birthday card, so you don't have to do something. I mean, if you see a winter card, you could certainly do something a little bit more spring related. I mean, it's bright and fun, not necessarily spring related, but I love this designer series paper, and I love the back side because it's more swirly with different colors. I mean, there is fresh freesia and calypso coral and berry burst. There's other colors in that designer series paper, which is available in the annual catalog. So that was my redo. Now I am going to show you a card So my friends and I are putting an event on Saturday, November 1st. And this is going to be a flyby. This is a fun fold card, and you're going to make that card at the in-person event. And that is thestampinevent.com. All the information is on that website. Once you go onto that website, you can register. You can leave it, depends on if you know. But save that date, because today happens to be September 28th. Once October hits, this is the day after Halloween. So don't let that fly by. All right. Then my girlfriend and I, Heidi, we are putting on an event virtually. And it is the virtual stampinevent.com. This is Saturday, November 15th. And this is, okay, here comes incoming flyby. This is the card that you're going to make featuring the same stamp set. Totally different cards. Now, when we do the in-person event, obviously, you have a stamp set that works with that, okay? Because it's virtual, we'll send you one packet, and inside it will have 8 baggies. Each baggie will be numbered, and while we are on Zoom, we'll play a video. We'll tell you to take out packet number 1, and then Heidi will play that video, and then she will stop it, pause it if anybody has any questions. Now, if you cannot make it November 15th in person, after the event, we send those videos back, okay? Her husband is the technical gentleman. My husband doesn't do anything with it. But anyways, the videos will be sent to you whether you make it or not. And so that way you can revisit them and stop, pause, play again. So it's great. It's different than what we do at the in-person event. We do this several times a year. So that is coming up. So let me show you what we're going to be playing with today. Let's see, where is the card? Here is the Facebook Live that I did in the past. I said this was my favorite. I think this is one of the first, distinctive stamp sets. And you can tell by the variation in there of the color, that's distinctive. So it's kind of different shading built into the stamp. And I loved this stamp set. I love the die. I love the designer series paper. The ribbon is very soft. I'm going to sneeze. I can't remember if I took my allergy pills or not. But anyways, this is Facebook Live number 25. And so we're going to recreate this card today using products. Now, I'm not going to show you the card, but I'm going to show you the products that we're going to be using and the dimensions. All right. So again, I told you we are using the Toile paper, the designer series paper. And so we're going to use vanilla because very vanilla coordinates with this paper. And so we're going to be using quarter sheet by 1 and a quarter by 2 3/4 of very vanilla. We have the earthen tone metallic. Now, to me, thank you. I'm trying not to do it again. Now, this one here, this is, I'm trying to give you that color. It's not copper. It is kind of like a chocolate color. It is beautiful. That is 5 1/4 long by 1/2 inch. And we have another piece, which is the designer series paper. This is the back side. So this is 5 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And then we have, okay, I have to tell you, I hate Toile. I think it's a really bad, ugly wallpaper. But this is tastefully done. So this paper, I like the back sides. That's the reason why I bought it. But I forced myself to use the side because, again, like I said, it's tastefully done. So it's 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. And I really love the B side. And this is the striped paper. Now, this is the one with the fox. And again, tastefully done. This is 5 1/4 by 2. Put that up there. And this is a piece of Very Vanilla. It's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. This is the pecan pie, and it is a half sheet of cardstock. So it is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And this is a scrap piece of paper, technically, and it's 4 by 5 1/2 of Very Vanilla. All right, so I'm just going to leave that sit there for a moment, just so that it gives you enough time, because like I said, if you want to come back and recreate this card, I have the dimensions for you. But like I said, you don't have to do fall for this card. You can use a floral type of designer series paper, and you can use its coordinating counterparts. Generally, Stampin' Up! Is very, very good. What do you mean generally? Stampin' Up! Is always good at taking A sides and B sides and putting them together so that you can flip-flop, turn around, twist, mix up, and they will all coordinate. All right, guys, I have to blow my nose. That sneeze was... Sorry about that. That blew my ear out so I can hear better. So I guess that was a good thing. All right, so I'm going to take another drink. My allergies, like I said, I can't tell you if I took my allergy pill or not this morning. I go back to work tomorrow. I was off all week last week, and I have been getting ready for the in-person event. I have... I have my stamp camp, which I haven't said anything about. I have a stamp camp that if you're on my email list, again, I sent that out today. It is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I am going to have 4 cards. And if you come, you will make 4 cards, okay? It's $20 without an order. However, if you place an order that is $50 or more, the stamp camp is free. And if you register by October 4th, you get to make an extra card. Yeah, it is, Carolyn. And if you register to come to my stamp camp by October 4th, you get to make a free card. So you get to make a total of 5 cards. Also, for my Stamp Camp special, if you, for every $1 that you spend in the catalog, so if your subtotal or the online store, exclusives, I mean, if your subtotal, say, is $65, okay, you get to pick $65 worth of retired product that has been steeply marked down of my stash, and you get to pay half. So like if your order was $65 subtotal, then you get to pick $65 worth of my retired product that has been deeply marked down, and you only pay $32.50 for it. So I mean, like, half price. So that is really cool. Now, if you look through my stash and you only want $20 worth of product, that's okay. It would still be half off. So you only pay $10 for something that I would normally charge $20. All right, so that is also my Stamp Camp invitation. I already have a sign-up-y, so that's really cool. All right, guys, let's go. And now remind me, okay, to show you the original card that I designed, because I used a different cardstock or a different designer series papers. So I kind of want to show you both items. Okay, so what shall we do first? I think stamping would be a good idea. All right, so first of all, we're going to take this and we're going to leave this alone, leave that alone, and leave that alone for now. And we're going to stamp on this, and which is, got to make sure I'm using the right product. Okay, this is my, there we go. Not stamping on that, but we're stamping on this, and we're stamping on that, and we're stamping on that. So yay. All right, so we're using the artistic leaves. I am a leaf person. I get every, well, not this year. I have to kind of keep my, I can't buy everything I want. I have to be very discerning about it. So I bought one leaf stamp set. I wanted to get the one that's in the online exclusives with your gorgeous paper, but somebody else took that stamp set, so I can't. So for me, I bought the stamp sets that I were going to use for the events, and then decided to go with that. I didn't go really much above and beyond that, just because Mike's been in the hospital so much that I don't want to spend money stupidly. You know what I mean? All right, so with this one here, we're going to use Versamark, and we're going to stamp up, we're going to ink up this one, and we're just going to twist that around so it's not necessarily facing the same way. Okay. We're going to leave that. Now, because we're going to actually stamp with that later, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, because it's very sticky, I'm going to grab my Stampin' Mist. And I'm just going to let that sit for a moment. Because if you just rub it on the chamois, it's doesn't get clean. So I'm going to actually let that sit for a second, and then I'm going to grab this one. Now, this one is the one that's sold in the annual catalog. And if you look in the corner up here, there's raindrops. Terry signed up for my Stamp Camp, and she's coming on Sunday. And then this one over here has the sun. So this means this side gets wet, this side stays dry. So this is basically your cheapest Stampin', your washer and dryer. And so I'm just going to go like that and then go over here. And it's not as sticky, okay? There we go. And then wash that off. There we go. So then we can use that. All right. And then, so we're going to do the greeting. Okay, so the ink pads that I'm playing with today are Gray Granite, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Cajun Craze, and Early Espresso. And so I am going to use, let's see,
just going to put these over here so I can grab them where I see them. All right, so we're going to grab Early Espresso. And like I said, I like to open these backwards. I like to put my fingers right where the, where you push your thumb, okay? But I like to put my fingers backwards, push and lift at the same time. And then that way I don't have an issue with trying to get it open and then my fingers getting all inky. Let's see, so we're going to use Still Cool. Like I said, we are doing the not 29 anymore. It's the online exclusive. If anybody knows me that this is kind of a snarky, kind of sarcastic, and this is like a Perfect Joy stamp set. So after it retires, I might keep this one. But then we're going to do Older But Still Cool, because I don't want to have somebody win this card and then have it say not wiser. I want to use the kind of the snarky, kind of just for me. If I would send birthday cards, I'm not very good at sending birthday cards. Okay, so we're going to do that right there in Mossy Meadow. And that looks pretty good. So then we will clean that in a little bit. And then I'm going to close that up. I'm going to do Cajun Craze. This one I just do normally. The 3 buttons, I always push my thumb. And then this is the felt pad or the linen pad. And we're going to do Happy Birthday. Like I said, this could be a masculine card, but I did it kind of for fall because, you know, fall falls into September, October, November. But then if it's masculine, you could still do it for December. So it's not something that says, hello, I'm just a girl card. Because I would like this card, even with the toile. Like I said, I am very anti-bad pattern. It reminds me of wallpaper, and I hate wallpaper. I guess that stems from back in the 80s, that ugly duck with the mauve bow around its neck. And let's see, boho blue and moody mauve. That was really bad wallpaper for me. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit down at the bottom. And because this is a silicone mat, that adhesive did not stick to it. All right, and like I said, I moved things around. And so if my tool bin used to sit right over there. Now my tool bin is over there, where it used to be back when I used to work or lived at the house. But it's been a year and a half since we've been in the house, so it's been a while. So gravitating towards the left, I'm right-handed. But because my paper, my 12-inch paper needs space to move out of their bins, I kind of need to have less stuff sitting over that way. So that is my reasoning. So my time off, I cleaned, and the kind of clean where I'm a neat stamper. However, right now I consider my desk messy. But what I mean by neat or clean is I took all the ink refills out of their towers and I cleaned that. I took everything off my table and cleaned that. I took I'm just going to move the camera just a bit. Whoops! This here is a piece of, I want to say, chipboard. It's a thick board, and I have sticky paper on it so that it doesn't. It's particle board, I think it's called, and then it elongates my desk. So, anyways, I cleaned everything, took all that off. So that's how deep of a cleaning I went, and reorganized my paper, my designer series paper, because I want it to sit in an easier location for me to grab. Okay, so that's the inside of the card, and now we can stamp this piece. All right, so let's do some leaves. Okay, so we're going to do the main leaf in Mossy Meadow. You can come whatever day works for you. Okay, so this is full strength. Okay, and then we're going to do, I don't know why I'm inking it up so much, we're going to do stamp off, okay, and then we're going to go in and we're going to line up there we go. So we kind of have that nice green section. Okay, so I'm going to close up this right now, and we're going to come back to that. But I'm going to clean the leaf because we need to stamp it in a different color. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Clean, clean, clean. All right. All right, so the next one we're going to do is in Cajun Craze. And that's going to be the main leaf. Tap, tap, tap. And that's going to go over here. Oops. Well then, let's see. That one turned out good. We're going to flip that one over. Okay. Stamp that. Make sure that middle gets it. There we go. That turn. We can leave that like that, but nope, not gonna. All right, so we're gonna close that up, and then you're gonna do pecan pie. I'm gonna do the center. Okay, not the center, but the fill-in. Okay, so I like to do the lines first because this point here and this point and then that point, that's how I line them up. For me, I think it's a lot easier that I can kind of guide that in and try to, it takes a little practice. I did practicing on scrap paper first and then got a little better at it. I really like the coloring on that. Okay, so then we're going to leave that and we're going to close that up. And then I forgot to get a scrap piece of paper of Very Vanilla. because I originally did this card in white, and then I realized that, duh, it's very vanilla. So this is how my scrap vanilla is. It's not as organized as my white. Just because my white is used most. So I am going to grab, I think this one looks good. See if there's anything smaller. That one I think works. And is that the same? Yep, that'll work perfectly. So this way I can put that bigger piece back and use the least amount. Okay. Now I have the big bins like that for just my basic. So my vanilla, my black, and my white. Now I'm gonna put that back on the magnet sheet. But the families are in the what do you say, the wooden cases that we used to have. Like this is the cases that we have now, but the wooden cases. I used to, I bought several of those cases. One family, each family has 2 of these. So I go in alphabetical order, I put the name on it, and then the next 5 go in the next one. And so that's how I keep my scraps, and then I keep them basically pretty well organized. So the greeting is going to go into Mossy Meadow, and where did I put that? Older but ... Okay, tap, tap, tap. I think that looks good. We're going to kind of do that in the center there. Looks very good. Okay, we'll close that up for now. We'll come back to this. And then we have our little leaf. Now the little leaf we are going to do in Early Espresso. Now my Early Espresso is very dark. And just tap, tap, tap. And then it fades a little bit, at least on, it did. I mean, I was wondering if I actually put the wrong re-inker in it, but my Early Espresso re-inker is totally different spot than my blacks. Okay, so then the swoosh that goes in here in Mossy Meadow. And so we're just going to put that on there. And isn't that pretty? I just love that. Okay, so then now we're going to grab that Early Espresso again. And why did I use gray granite? Oh, because I was practicing with it and I decided to go with a different color. All right, so then now we're going to do Early Espresso. And I really like the fact that these colored spots are in here. Because if you look at leaves, once they've been on the tree, if there's a lot of rain, it has those colored spots on it. And I'm like going, yeah. And this, the spots actually bring out, you know, it brings more realistic life to them. Okay. So then, by the power of TV, we did that. So now my original card, I did not do this, but I want to do it on this one. And what I am going to do
is make a mess. So I'm just going to take scrap paper. This is stuff that I print off my computer and I don't use. But like if I print out a recipe and I didn't need the nutritional information, which I never do, then I do that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to splatter with Winkostella because this is distinctive. Now, I am going to show you, because this is the wrong side of something. So you could certainly use the ink pads to color, but see how the dots, they now are not dots anymore, they are colored areas. So that's not how I want it. So I'm not going to color, I'm just going to speckle. Okay, so I'm going to use these in a different, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze, and do not squeeze over your, it says push, so, and it says push, and then you squeeze, but like I said, you do not do that over your, and you can go like this too, and it will give you glitter. I need to sit down to do this part because I can't see through the camera if I'm getting it on the, ooh, very nice. But then it doesn't blend the colors together, so it doesn't ruin it. And just to let you know, my stamp camp is going to use Traditions of Christmas, Lights of Aurora, and then Branching Out, and then I don't know, those are the 3 cards that, or the 3 items that I have figured out what we're using. It could be the artistic leaves. I think that would be very pretty using the Toile paper. You know, I just might do that too. Okay, let's just say, but let's see. Do you see the sparkle on? Judy, hi! Welcome. All right, so I can always use these again. So I will put those back in my, basically it's my recycling bin where, I mean, I'm using it re-over specifically for this purpose of doing extra. Oh, I got Winkostella on my mat, glass mat studio. So I am just going to use my chamois, which I cut into 4s, and we're going to wipe that off because I do not want to put something in that I don't want to shine up. And that was a very wet chamois, so I'm just going to dry that off with the paper towel. Okay, so while we're letting that dry, I'm going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to do the mini. I have been doing a lot of die cutting. So for the event, now I have to plan, or I actually have the cards planned for the virtual event, but I got to start cutting, and I have to plan all the cards. I have 3 cards that I know kind of what I'm doing, but not necessarily. So I have the ideas for 3 of them, and let's see, where did I put my Post-it note? Like I said, I redid my table, so I have to think of where everything is until I get used to it.
I made the Stampin' blends, the in colors, I made them more over that way. And then the families are right there. And then my blacks are over there. And then my Versamark and some extra ones are over there, because that's my least used. And so I kind of put more used. I moved things and I flip-flopped them. All right, so we're just going to push that through. Yep, some Happy Mail was just sent out a few days ago, so people should be receiving some of their Facebook Live winners soon, hopefully. All right, and so that is our very vanilla part of the card. And now we can start attaching. All right. And so then, if you find that your plates are kind of overused, say like one is more bulbous, kind of like more curved, stick it, bubble side up, and then stick them, like this, and then it helps flatten it out a little bit. All right. That was a tip that I learned from somebody a long time ago, but I don't remember who. Okay, so let's take these off. They'll be dry soon, I'm sure. See all the sparkle? My scrap piece of paper sparkles more than my card. Okay, so we're going to grab that silicone mat again, because we're going to glue things together now. And, all right, so we're going to use all of this. So the first thing that I glued was this. I'm going to cover up some of it, but that's where the the 1/4 inch sheet came off from this piece, because I had this at 3.5, and I'm like, no, I don't want it at 3.5. I want it at 2.5, and so that, or maybe it was 3, 2.5. Yeah, I had it at 3, and I'm like, nope, I don't need to waste that paper, and so I cut it off, and I'm like, oh, well, I can use that on the inside of the card. And then I'm like, well, that looked really nice, so let's do that. Oops. Luckily, I didn't put that down too hard. There we go. Much better. Okay, so then there's the toile, and then we're going to put on the stripes. And then we're going to put that right at the top. And actually, I'm going to flip this around, because I need it to be the same width as the Designer Series paper on both sides. Cool. All right. And then we're going to put this I was supposed to have 2 of these pieces. Let me see if I have another stripe, because I wanted, this is how I keep my, okay, so this is the full side, and I label it with the page number so I know which one it's in, because this is Autumn Toile. I know that's the Holiday Mini. And then this is where I keep all my, anything that I cut into. Well, anything that's small, I actually have it in a bag. And then that way, once I'm lifting things out, see, like this piece right here, if I'm in and out all the time, I can crunch that up. So I put my small papers in. All right, so I shall be right back. Right. That turned out perfectly. So that's, whoops, I need to put that back in the bag, or back in here. And then that way, all my bigger sheets, and then my smaller sheets. And so that way, how I organize it so things don't get damaged, you know, by being pulled in, pulled out. Okay. So this is part of that earthen texture foil, and or not texture, it's earthen metallic. So we're going to take this and we're going to put adhesive on it. Now I did not use this piece in my original. And we're going to go right on top. Okay, and then we're going to flip that over, and it's attached to the silicone craft sheet, but as you see, it comes right back up so nicely. All right, so we're going to put that right at the edge, and hopefully straight, straight, straight. Okay, I think that's straight. Okay, so look at that shine. Okay, now we're going to put this on the front of the card. And I'm going to line that up just a little bit so that you can see the pecan pie. There we go. Push that down. Isn't that pretty? Just like that would be very nice, but we're not. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the green leaf and we're going to put that on the front of the card, kind of up like that. And then we're going to take dimensionals, but first we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to kind of curve it to kind of give it that life. And I'm going to grab or take your pick tool and use the people poker and grab 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then stab, whoops, and flick those backings off. Oh, that's funny. And then put those in the trash. And then that is going to go like that. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to put adhesive on there. And then we're going to take 1 dimensional and 2 dimensionals. And then we're going to stab and grab those backings off of those. Come on, let's go. No. See, that's the only thing you can stab something and not go to jail for. All right, so then now we're going to put that right above the foil. And then we're going to take this leaf, whoops, and rip it in half. Okay then. You have to be very gentle. Wait, actually, I did stamp this leaf, so all I have to do is cut it out. I don't need to restamp it. Okay. So I guess you're going to have to watch me cut out a leaf. I'm sorry. All right. So be careful with your leaves. They're very fragile. My dad used to say, you don't know your own strength. And I'm like, okay, Dad. Right. So then that is our leaf. And we're going to go like this to it. And then, all right, I need to fix something on here. And all right, that's okay. And then we're going to put, let's see, did I do dimensional on that one? Nope, I added glue. So then we're going to go here. And then we're going to put that like that. And then we're going to take, this is from the same place that the Designer Series paper comes from, and it's called the Early Espresso and Old Olive Linen Thread. So if you want to, get this, but you don't remember the name, you could say, Joy used that linen thread in her card and I really liked it. Go into that search bar in the online store and type in linen thread, and everything comes up that's linen thread, and this will show up. All right, so we're going to do this one, and because it's curly like that, I'm just going to take my fingernails and just go like that. See how not curly that is? And I don't even have fingernails. I'm trying to grow them. I have a, let's see, we're going to do a double knotted, or a double bow. So I like to do double bows when it's linen thread. Not used to my scissors being over that way. But anyways, so let's put the little ties down together. And come back up. Yeah, I've been putting like a treatment strengthener on my fingernails, and it's this ugly pink color. It's kind of like almost a natural tone, but it's like pink, and it's not a pretty pink to me. I am not a pink kind of girl unless it's like a bright pink. Not that I want to ever wear bright pink fingernail polish. That is not me. All right, so then we have, and then we're going to take this, and I have cut north, south, west, and east, and that's where I put my end piece, so I always know where it is, and it's not going to unravel. And I made it, I was going to do an old olive bow, and I'm like, nah, don't like it. And then I went with cherry, or the chocolate. Early espresso. I want to say chocolate chip, because that's not chocolate chip. And this is in the online exclusives. No, it's not. It's in the holiday mini catalog. Wait, no, it is. It's in the online exclusives. Sorry. This is the only thing that I bought. It's not in the same page as the Toile. It's let's see. It's in the, oh, it's coming up next. There we go. Should have gone the other way. It's in the September release of the online exclusives. It's in the Gathering Together Suite collection. Sorry, I misled you on that, but there it is. It's 165,986, and I love the fact that Stampin' Up put that together, because I love linen thread, and it makes it just, I mean, that little bow right there, I mean, so much difference, right? Okay, so I'm going to pull back my spot, squish the knot in there, grab it, and then we're going to stick that right on there. And then this little tail just comes towards me with its next one in line. So that's the reason why I have this on here, because it allows me to use all my glue dots without throwing them away. Because if I'm throwing a glue dot away, I'm throwing money away. And I don't want to do that. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to use is the actual neutral matte dots. It's in the online store. This is in the section of the botanicals, the Botanical Textures Suite Collection in the online store. Now I know that I'm just going to do a little thing right here. It wasn't planned. This is the textured notes. This is where the dies come from. So this is the Suite Collection. And the Designer Series paper has 2 different kinds of paper. And this is where this comes from. So this is actually going to be retired at the end of the year. So if you like this stamp set, get it, because it's red rubber. And when you buy this stamp set with the dies, you save 10%. Now when you buy the whole Suite Collection, you still save that 10%, but you also get those dies, or sorry, the 2 Designer Series papers that goes with this. And this would have been great with that card as well. So that just all red rubber is gonna be no more red rubber is going to be introduced past November. Okay, so we're gonna use, put my people poker lid back on, and we're gonna use the putty tip. And so we're going to put one right there. And then we're going to put another one right here. And then we're going to put another one right here. Now I like these because they're flat, but they also kind of have, they're not faceted like rhinestones, but they're nice because they don't take up a lot of, and then the white is also included in here. So we have white, black, vanilla, and pecan pie, which is like perfect for this card. I didn't have anything sparkly to use, but you know what? I'm doing it a man card, kind of. You know what I mean? So, all right. Let's put that back. So what do you think of this card? Would you like to win it? All you have to do is do a thumbs up or a heart to win this card. Leave a comment. All you have to do is say hi. That gets your name entered to win this card. And if you share this on your timeline, you are entered 2 times to win this card. Now here is the original card that I made. Now I did not put the earthen toned, but I think that really made the card, as well as I changed this. So I just wanted to show you, just by changing the Designer Series paper, how it can change the outlook on your card. I mean, it still looks the same, but it's different. You know what I mean? All right. So, and this is the original card from Facebook Live number 25. So this happens to be Facebook Live number 437. So that was the original card. I think I did a pretty good job recreating this. And I didn't have dies, so I had a paper, a fussy cut, but I had that ready for you guys. So what do you love the card? Thank you very much. like I said, I don't like the Toile very much, but Stampin' Up! Did a great job with using it. And this could be, like I said, anybody that is having a birthday in September, October, November, and even December, because it is a masculine card. So thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. Please share, please thumbs up, and if you see this on my YouTube page, hit subscribe, and anytime a Facebook Live gets entered, it will, thank you, Tina. So what I do with this video, which is recorded on my Joy Borwich Facebook page, I take the pictures and I send it to my Instagram page, and then it's downloaded on my YouTube page and then downloaded on my Stampin' for Joy page. So guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great week. Register for the in-person event and the virtual event, and happy stamping!